exactly what he wants.
I mean,
that's not hers. That's not hers.
I know, but it's like
She
they
let you know, like.
Yeah, she was like, that is not me. That is not me.
Some of it's legal.
Some of it. Yeah, we're good. We're good. Hey, we're back. We figured things have got a little heavy in the last episode, so we need to get into like the lighter side of life, man.
What do they call that? Bread and circus?
Yeah. Yes, we're
my favorite.
Bread and circus. We have once again Skylar Kelly in the producer booth.
He's Irish.
He's back. He's back from his 17 lashes. So, guys, if you're having any audio issues, or if there sounds like there's any reverb, or if you're not liking the way this episode is cut, say remarkably nasty things to Skylar in the comments. So he gets better.
We appreciate it, guys.
So he gets better quicker. Bully Skylar into getting better, guys. So it
works. Bullying and shame works.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, every day I wake up and there's a picture on the refrigerator of me when I was in good shape, and I'm like, Mickey left this here. I know it. I know he did. And it doesn't work. I'm immune to it.
Yeah.
Right
into that fridge. You go.
Listen, have you had a grilled cheese sandwich? Come on. Would you rather be thin or have a grilled cheese sandwich?
Well,
You take the grilled cheese? That is the sweet siren sound of our guest, Mick. Why don't we introduce our special guest?
Yes, we have special guest Donovan Peoples-Jones in the house.
Donovan Peoples-Jones, for people that don't know, University of Michigan alum, who plays now, we used to play for the Browns, and now plays for the Detroit Lions in the National Football League, which...
Give me that three screen.
I've learned from watching HBO film. I'm just there we go. There we are. I've learned from watching
for himself when he doesn't make the right.
Yay! I've learned from NFL films on HBO there that you just can't call it the NFL, or you can't call it the league. Every single time you talk about the National Football League, you have to say the words the National Football League.
What do you mean?
Well,
they just say it.
That's not going to work in the National Football League. Okay. This is how you play it, the National Football League. No, this ain't college, son. This is the National Football League.
I know the UFC. They don't like you to say the cage. You say the octagon.
Is that right?
Yeah, you're supposed to say the octagon, not the cage.
It's just the way that these like suits like talk about the National Football League, as if they've ever put their hand in the dirt at any level.
Yeah.
I'm looking at these guys evaluate these unbelievably great football players, these unbelievably great athletes. And like,
Donovan, maybe it was a bad idea to have you on the show. He's about to talk shit on your fucking boss.
It's not as
Nah, you're talking about the Giants.
I'm talking about the Giants, who I love to death.
That's our team.
But also, like, man, I went through it a little bit at the very low levels of baseball, but I remember thinking like these dudes. But in fairness, the guy that signed me was an asset quant. He had never played any sport at any level ever. So
you don't like the
scouting process and how seriously they take themselves and how self-assured they sound. It drives me out of my mind as they're sitting there talking about Saquon Barkley. He's 27 years old. He had 900
I still think he might be able to play for us, but we're not sure.
Your whole offense, man.
Yeah.
The entirety.
He's the best player on the offense for sure.
You have nobody else on the field, and you're like, we gotta pay this guy. So anyway, I'm going on a rant here, but when it comes to this sort of stuff, when you're going through the combine, you went through it, right? What are your thoughts with what these people are asking, what the questions they're asking? Are you thinking like, man, I hope these guys like me? Or are you thinking like, man, these fucking guys don't know shit?
I mean, I feel like you definitely want to give who you are to the team, kind of like an interview type of process. You want to do well with the interview. You want to answer the questions well. You want to be prepared. You got to talk about things that they ask, and some of them you may know, some of them you may not know. So
you trying to like bullshit your way through, or you just trying to like keep it real, kind of?
I'm trying to keep it real, not portray anybody that I'm not. So
right.
The question, get an answer if I don't know.
Now, did you talk with someone from like how many different teams did you talk to? And that just since we just watched the Hard Knocks thing, and they showed the part where they're talking to Caleb Williams and the quarterback from here and McCarthy and May, like all these like new guys coming to the league. What was that? Was that
that was the combine? Yeah, that was the combine.
So when you were at the combine, did you talk to like 10 different teams, 20 different teams? How did that work for you?
Probably around 10.
Okay, so you're talking like the head coach or the offensive coordinator or something like that from each team?
Well, our year was a little bit different than the other years just because COVID and all that crazy.
Oh, right. So what year did you come to the league?
2012. 20.
Oh yeah, so right there.
So you had another year of eligibility. Why did you decide to come out when you came out?
I just felt like it was the best decision for me.
You came out as a junior?
Came out as a junior. I felt like it was the best decision for me. I feel like that was something I always kind of wanted to do around that point in my life. So, I feel like I should do it.
Yeah. You got sick of hardball or?
No,
I'm messing around. What do you think about what they did with Michigan last year? You think it was fair or unfair, or where do you think that came from?
Which part?
Well, where he got suspended for what was it? I think he got suspended for 3 games. Was it for they were stealing? They basically got accused of like Spygate back in the day, right? They were stealing the opponent's signals on the sidelines. I come from baseball, like. Stealing your opponent's signs is part of the game. Like that's what you want people to do. If I can steal your signs, that, to me, that's a you problem, not an us problem.
Yeah, I really get no comment. I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know.
but you think it came from other people? You think like Ohio State was behind that or something like that? It's not coming from the NCAA. They don't just wake up one day and like, is Michigan stealing signs?
I don't know. I don't know anything about. I don't actually know enough even about the story to.
You guys remember Harbaugh got suspended?
Yeah, and then wasn't like the Michigan State coach like messing around with girls or something? Like wasn't there a whole bunch of problems up in Michigan?
Really?
But anyway, let's talk some good shit about Michigan. So you grew up Michigan, played college in Michigan, got drafted by the Browns, and now you're back in Michigan with the Lions. Now, how did that come about? Was that was that just dumb luck that you ended up going back to like your hometown team? Or was that, you know what I mean? Like, was there some like, was your manager, your agent, like kind of looking for that for you? Like, how did that all work out?
I would say it was God.
Yeah.
It was God. It kind of just happened that way. Didn't even really know what was going to happen. Kind of was very like surprising to me. So many different variables in a decision like that.
It's a 1 in 32 shot.
Yeah. Never thought I would, really be in that position, so it was like it was brand new. So it was, way different, brand new process. And it was just like spontaneous, like out of nowhere. So
you didn't expect to get moved anywhere.
I didn't know like it was happening. I mean, you hear stuff, trade deadline, and
you don't know if you're on the block or what, because that's something we were actually talking about the other day. I think you said that's the worst part of sports is that like being on a team sport is you get traded.
Yeah, I got traded 4 times in 5 years. Once for myself. I was traded for a player to be named later, and it was my own player to be named later. That just means nobody wants you. Yeah, like I was very unwanted.
Yeah.
It was like, oh man, let's get this big hitter, and then they meet me for like a day, and they're like, do you want him back? I mean, yeah, but the worst part about being traded, and I don't know if it happened with you, and obviously it's a very different level. But they're like, hey, your flight's at 9 o'clock in the morning. You're like, well, I got a whole apartment with the shit. They're like, yeah, we'll send you boxes. It's like, okay. And then you get to the airport, and you show up at the ballpark, and they're like, hey, can you play tonight? You're like, yeah, I guess. And you're going out in a uniform that doesn't really fit you. And it all just happens so fast. And that's it. Now I'm on this team. And, I was lucky that I was single. There's guys that have children,
families,
wife, kids. Yeah. And they live somewhere else, but then they pick up, for 6 months, they get they'll get an apartment. Remember, most minor league places are in absolute shitholes. So people don't wake up one day and be like, wow, I want to live in Camden,
we're talking about the big leagues here, buddy.
Yeah.
We're not talking about the minors, you know what I'm saying?
No doubt about it. But in fairness, we are talking about somebody who got traded from Cleveland to Detroit. So, in all fairness, I feel like I empathize with it.
Everybody likes Cleveland. Cleveland is a bad rap.
I love Cleveland.
Everybody loves Cleveland.
I think Cleveland is the most underrated city in America.
Detroit to him is like us going back to fucking Jersey. If we went to
Did you grow up in Detroit? Did you grow up in Detroit?
If we went to go.
Are you like an 8 Mile guy or?
More like I'm not an 8 Mile guy.
Yeah. No.
Nah, it's like us getting traded to the fucking Yankees or the Giants, bro.
Well, you don't know that though, man. You don't know. Just
what do you mean?
Detroit was bad for a very long time.
Yeah,
you might have grown up a Cowboys fan, like a lot of people in New Jersey right now are growing up Cowboys fans.
Yeah, pieces of garbage. Did you grow up a Lions fan? Was that your team?
I was for a minute a Calvin Johnson fan when I was older. I was a Charlie Batch fan.
Now you're trying to-
Charlie Batch.
I had his
Wow. You want to be a quarterback?
I just love Charlie Batch.
Wow.
I probably didn't even. I knew what a quarterback was. I knew through the ball, but I was like 2 years old. So
Yeah.
I just love Charlie
Batch
Batch.
was on a few teams, huh? He was. Who else was he with?
I think he won a Super Bowl with
the Steelers
as Ben Roethlisberger's backup for a couple of years. Yeah, and I think he took over for Rodney Peete over there. I think Detroit had Rodney Peete, then Charlie Batch, then went through Detroit went through it. Then they had
How'd you become a Charlie Batch?
Scott
fan? I was a
Mitchell.
little obscure.
I guess he was, on the TV throwing the ball, and I saw him.
Yeah, you just that's how it happens, like for kids, right? You just catch a little bit of something, and you're like, yo, that's my guy. Yeah. I know. I had a friend who was a Dallas fan, just because as a little kid, he liked the little star on the helmet.
Yeah, 'cause they were
I'm a
winning.
Giants fan, so I can't. That's unforgivable. To do.
Yeah, half my friends growing up, my uncle
We got a lot of but
ended up being
that's probably like
Pittsburgh
Yankees
Steelers
fans everywhere too. Kind of that
Yeah,
America's
100%.
team. You know what I mean? Like a little like that.
I think it's been good karma for them though that they grew up Cowboys fans and now for the next 30 years they got to eat it. It's you took the easy way out. You wanted to wear the Dallas Cowboy starter jacket and talk shit when we were 7 years old. How's that going for you now? Yeah. But anyway, you made the transition during COVID from college to the NFL, and then you've had to go from one NFL franchise to another. What do you think is the biggest difference between going from a high? It's not like you weren't in like any college. You were at the University of Michigan. You can't get much higher level. Then you go to the Cleveland Browns. Now you're at the Detroit Lions. What's the difference in all the different organizations, and what do you see that has maybe been the same that works in those organizations?
I mean, the difference is philosophies. Philosophies with the guys, the coaches, the GMs, the owners. Everybody has a different philosophy on how they feel. Things should be run. That was the major difference for me. Switching, from one type of philosophy to a whole different other type of philosophy. So kind of getting adjusted to that.
Can you talk about the two philosophies of each team?
Yeah, absolutely. Cleveland, Cleveland was a special place. Hard work oriented. Work hard. Do your job. The definition of all of the definitions that you hear over and over and over. Work hard, consistency, discipline. Those type of things. When I got to Detroit, it was more. They coach with I feel like more passion when they play. Dan Campbell, he's a very passionate man, so he coaches. I feel like in a way that he is. So just different personalities, honestly.
Right. Interesting. And you're I read your wide receiver coach is Antoine Randall.
Yeah.
Is that right? Really?
Yeah, I saw that today.
Yeah.
I saw something on the Lions thing. He was probably catching balls from Charlie Batch back in the day. Huh? They probably crossed paths.
For sure. At least in practice.
Yeah.
I mean, you get a guy like that.
Randall was good, man. He was a nice offset to Hines Ward. They had a nice little thing over there.
Absolutely. Well, too, I mean, and you've talked about this before, sometimes the best fighters do not make the best coaches. I experienced it as well. The best hitters are terrible coaches. When you look at a guy like Antoine Randall, that's not prototypical size for the NFL. That's not, he's not going to blow away the combine. So he has to be very, very good at his technique. He has to be very good at understanding the difference between, being an athlete and being a professional football player in the National Football League. So, somebody like that, I feel like, could make a great coach because, in essence, he has to learn the little things that all the coaches.
From now on, I'm referring to UFC, the Ultimate Fighting Champion.
That's exactly right. Yeah, I don't know, dude. I don't know. Maybe it's my autism. I don't know what it is, but when I'm watching this thing and they just keep saying, "Just say the NFL." Just one time, say the NFL. Why do you keep having to say? It's like when they have to say people's full names, like Brett Favre, LeBron James. Like just say LeBron. You know who you're talking about. Just say Favre.
Yeah.
There's not another Favre where we're like, but which Favre are you talking about?
Right.
It drives me out of my mind. I don't know why.
It's the autism.
It is the
It's
autism.
the
It's the autism.
Yeah.
But it's probably Donovan Peoples-Jones, I imagine, is one of those names. I don't think people are calling you Peoples-Jones. You're probably getting all three.
Yeah, more than that too.
Yeah.
PJ, Peoples.
DPJ's tight.
DPJ's kind of good. It's a little like
Thank you to my
JPP-ish.
parents for that.
Yeah?
You say what?
Thankful to my parents for that one.
Yeah.
Nice little layup.
Yeah. When you what do you think is the difference between?
My uncle's initials are MVP though.
No,
that's even tighter. Yeah.
like the wrestler.
Yeah.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Yeah.
What do you think?
That's got you beat, bro. That's got you beat.
Yeah, MVP is pretty dope. What do you think is the difference, the main difference for the guys that are able to? You're about to be in year 5 in the NFL, dude.
Yeah.
In a league that most people say is not for long.
Yeah.
Well, I think the average NFL career is under 3 years. So in year 5, what do you think is the difference between the guys that are able to make it, maintain a professional career, and the guys that wash out?
Like from what I've seen is, consistency, discipline, attention to detail. Being able to focus in the midst of a lot of distractions.
What type of distractions?
I mean, everybody, I feel like has their own. Everybody, different family situations, situations on the field, off the field, past situations, different things, whatever, the distractions is for that person, I guess.
That's something me and him actually have always kind of got along on and bonded over. Is like we're both big into like optimizing ourselves. You know what I mean? We both heard the old adage where like hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard. And he's not gonna say it about himself. He's one of the most talented guys I've seen. He moves different, strong, everything. You know what I mean? Big and he's strong and moves well. But he's also doing the right things for himself. He's not just like he's not out there partying. He's not. He's being very like. He's considering what he's putting in his body.
You got him
doing all
all
the
fooled.
healthy things.
You got him all fooled.
Don's paying me $100 now.
You got him all fooled.
Yeah, no, but he's
Did
a
you hear
talented
that,
guy.
Dan Campbell? Did you hear?
Yeah. but he's always doing his research and trying to figure out the best way to stay the most hydrated to get the most out of himself. Which is what I think is the reason why he's where he's at. And I think he's just going to continue to develop. I think he's going to have a long career because of those things. The way he's taking care of his body and doing the right things. He's not taking it for granted. Just being like, yeah, I'm a bad motherfucker. I'm talented. Yeah, I'm a runner. You know what I mean? He's putting the work in too. And I've seen him put it. Now we've known each other for over a year now, training at Prowess.
Who lifts more weight? Who's got a better bench?
Well, he's almost as fast as me.
Oh, almost.
He's almost as fast as me.
Just get off there, get that fast.
Nah,
switch
bro,
going.
I fight. I don't run.
I fight. I don't fight.
Yeah, exactly.
Fight or flight.
Yes.
No, but you remember when I was first getting off? I remember my first session on the beach after my back surgery. I hadn't done shit for days. They had me running out there on the beach with them and shit. Felt good.
Yeah.
It felt that was like the first day we really got to like know each other. But that. Bro, I felt like out of place. Like I haven't run on.
You guys are running on the beach, getting to know you, like Rocky and Apollo out there, just running after each other.
Yeah, I mean that's racist, but yeah.
How?
Is
that racist?
Because I'm Rocky and he's Apollo. Clearly, is that what you're saying?
It's a very iconic scene.
He's getting so defensive. Jerome's been called racist so many times.
So true. It's really true. Speaking of that, make sure from time to time, Skylar, that you're checking the feed. If we're having that cache problem, so just check on your phone to make sure we're still going live, right? So, you come. When did you think, you know what, man? I got a shot to be a pro athlete. When did you think, like, you know what? If I buckle down, I can do this thing. Did you know from an early age? Were you one of those people at 5 years old said I wanted to be a pro football player?
Yeah, I pretty much always really wanted to.
Really? And when did you?
Now let me ask you another question. Did you know you were going to be?
I knew that's just was my dream,
Right.
That was just
But I think there's.
always working on, like,
All right, keep going.
I wasn't even, I guess focused on that. I was just
You weren't focused on it.
It was just something I was working on constantly, really.
Yeah. See, I think there's something to like if you like know you're gonna do something. You know what I mean? Even as an early age, like you're gonna probably do that. You know what I mean? And it's the same thing now. I think it's kind of that manifestation shit that having to believe. And sometimes you have to get out of your own way a little bit. Because certain things you might want might seem like it's gonna be hard to obtain, hard to get those things. But you gotta kind of get out of your own way. And if like you remember yourself as a young person, really like knowing you're gonna do something, and then you end up doing it. You know what I'm saying? Does that make sense?
Yeah. Was it like that for you?
Yeah. I knew I was gonna like be a professional athlete.
What age? Like what age? Like,
My whole life.
Really?
My whole life.
What's the earliest age you can like remember?
Turn your mic off, Scott.
You know, here you typing over there.
I guess.
Okay.
Yeah, what are you typing over there?
That's great.
Why are you typing?
All right. Yeah, Don's in on him now.
Yeah, so Carlos just mentioned that there's bigger news, but I just told him that we had it covered.
Yeah,
Watch the last.
Go look at our last episode, Carlos. We did 30 minutes on it, buddy. Yep. Thank you for mentioning that. This is for the people that are traumatized by the assassination attempt, and now we're talking sports. But if you go to the last, literally one video down, there's 30
first
minutes.
enjoy Carlos. It's just you and me talking here, right? First enjoy what we got going for you right here. All right. We have my NFL bestie is here, okay? This is the first active NFL player we have on show.
First active.
Yes, we have Brian McKinney.
Mountain.
Class from Schuyler. So look, enjoy this, and then you can
big
enjoy
son
that.
Have you ever met Brian McKinney?
Oh, that's a big boy.
That's a big son of a bitch.
He's a big boy. What would you say? What's it? 6'8"?
6'9", wider than me. Like,
Yeah, no one's wider than you. Gerard has to go sideways through doors.
yeah. I think
kidding.
it's poor.
No,
I think it's poor
But
construction mostly.
Yeah.
In Europe, I definitely would.
Yeah,
in
yeah.
Europe, when the humans were very tiny.
Dude, he got stuck in a bathroom on a plane, and they needed the jaws of life. He got stuck in a bathroom on a plane. He needed the jaws of life to get him out. They had to land the plane in a cornfield.
They just had to. No. The fact that you believe it, though.
I don't know.
What other comments do we have, Skylar? I see all the other comments. What other comments do we have there? Everybody talking about how the bad audio? What's going on?
No, it looks like we're running a little dry right now, but...
All right, good.
Never say that.
So, yeah, you guys both drink gallons of water a day. You believe in how many gallons of water do you drink a day? Are you a 1, 2? Are you just a 1 gallon guy?
Yeah. Have you ever drank more than a gallon?
Brother, I'm drinking 4 gallons, over 4 gallons in a day. But that was because for weight cutting,
Yeah.
I'll drink like 2 gallons normally.
Okay.
And then when I'm in like camp, I can drink like 3 gallons in a day. When I'm,
Is that just like eating as much food?
it's a little bit of it, but it's mostly because I'm sweating out 3 gallons. You know what I mean? Whatever I'm sweating out, I'm in the gym multiple times a day, sweating. So I'm putting that back in me. But when you cut weight, you got the water load. So you got to drink more water than you normally do. So like this camp, this weight cut, I was drinking 4 gallons for like 4 days in a row. It was not. It wasn't easy, but it wasn't as impossible. But also, no one else should do that. I drink a ridiculously high amount of water. So what you're supposed to, so like if you drink 1 gallon a day, every day, you would drink 2 gallons. You're supposed to drink kind of like an extra gallon than you normally do, because you get your body used to processing that water, peeing out, and then you stop. So your body's used to getting that water, so it keeps flushing out. So it's not very healthy for you. It's just a way to lower the number on the scale, to bring down get the water out of your body. You dehydrate yourself.
And you do that for how long?
Who figured that out?
The Russians.
I think bodybuilders.
Yeah. 2, 1, and none was the big wrestling thing back in the day.
How did they know? Drink so much water.
You know what?
your body will get-
That's a great question. I wonder how they figured out so much shit. If not just anything. Like I was watching the John Adams, and they had like the pumps of water, and like how the Romans figured out the aqueducts and the water underground. If all those people died and I was there, I'd be like, fuck, I don't know. I don't know how anyone's gonna get water. I guess I gotta go to a lake, or gotta go find a spring.
Yeah, it's
like there's so many things. I'd be fucked. Like, could you ever make this ever in a fucking million years?
No, but one of the things that humans have, all animals have it, but what humans have is recall, pattern recognition, right? So we're very good with pattern recognition, and we're very good with feedback loops, right? You do something positive, you get a feedback loop that, hey, that's good. You're like, oh, I can do that again, right? And if you do something bad and something bad happens, you're like, oh, I shouldn't do that again. Now, what we do that's better than most other animals is I see him do something bad, and something bad happens, I'm like, I don't know. I don't think I should do that. You know,
Animal just do it.
a lot of animals they'll be like, so like, you know, one of the ways you trap animals is you clear a path.
Yeah.
Animals take the path of least resistance. So if you set a trap like for minks or you know your fur trapping and stuff like that, you set a path in the woods, and the animal goes, lucky day.
Wow, this is easier
This
than
is
going through all
easy.
the brush.
Yeah.
I might as well go on this nice.
Yeah.
Well, interesting.
And then you know, somebody you know,
Stupid animals.
then if you catch an animal, then it's a female even better. Because then you can use that female's pheromones to then bait that path as well, and animal after animal after animal will go down that path into the trap, and that's how.
Looking for some animal pussy.
Yeah, that's how fur coats are made.
That's what we be doing, dude.
Yeah.
That's how we are. Where we are. We get to eat
You
protein.
think
and
that's
shit.
crazy? You ever had a bottle service girl?
Exactly. Good answer. He's not out there partying.
Exactly.
He's doing the right things. He's
So-
in the gym. He's getting to
It's
bed.
so fun. It's so fun.
Hydrated. Yeah.
We're sitting here like stupid animals. Anyway, I'll take another $500 bottle of Absolute, please. She said she
She's
liked me.
pretty.
She said I was cute. You know, yeah.
Some water.
Yeah. You're one of those like sparkling water guys when you get. Yeah, dude.
Little Fiji water.
Oh, Fiji's great, isn't it?
Well, I heard some bad stuff about Fiji.
Recently, Candace was
this
talking about that.
distilled stuff.
I've been trying. I've been trying.
He's been drinking distilled water with electrolytes.
Really?
Now I always heard, because I saw him with the bottle a couple weeks ago at the gym. I was like, "What are you doing with that?" Because distilled water, they was like, "Oh, it's going to strip your body of minerals and it's going to like dehydrate."
The distilled water?
Distilled. Wrestlers would drink that to lose weight.
Really?
Because it doesn't have like the natural minerals in it that you would hold on to the water that would help you hydrate. But he's doing it with electrolytes. And now you said you heard that there was kind of a conspiracy, right?
Well, I was just doing some research on it, and it's just water, but just put my electrolytes in it instead of having water with already a certain composition of minerals in it. Really, just so I can get more electrolytes in it.
Didn't you say there was a conspiracy you saw or something that they don't want you drinking distilled because something like it could be good for you?
I was just reading. I read so many different things, and like on the internet, I think I heard y'all say this earlier. Like you don't know like what's real, what's fake, what's propaganda, what's. I was just reading a couple of different things, and I saw like a whole bunch of opposing opinions.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like I should just try.
So you gave it a try, and it's been working for you so far. Feeling good.
I don't know, man. Look, even like electrolytes, like somebody told me electrolytes are basically just salt, metal. Like that's like.
Well, it's salt because look, if you just drink a bunch of water, it's gonna like kind of go through you. But if you have electrolytes in it, that's what kind of is like we're so it's called electrolytes. We're like electrical, down to our synapses and all those things. That's gonna make things fire. That's gonna make your muscles fire. It's having like those like the salts and stuff in it. There's a lot of people talking about now. Salt is the best. Salt kind of got demonized because if you're not working out.
Yeah,
They give you like high blood pressure and shit, but if you
edema, hypertension,
if you're working out and sweating and stuff, it's gonna help you stay hydrated.
Mm-hmm.
Salt's one of the best natural performance enhancers because it keeps the hydration in your muscles and it allows like the electrical charges of the synapses and the sarcomeres, as Mike Barris would say.
Shout out to Mike too.
Yeah, Mike's the man.
You ever like had a tear and you tasted the tear?
Salty as fuck.
Salty.
Yeah.
Like, where does that salt come from?
Why you crying?
Are your eyes?
Why you out here crying, bro?
You never cried?
I got something in my eye.
Never once.
Never once,
Never
ever,
once.
bro.
Never will. I'm a man. I cried.
He's cried on the show. Now.
I've watched. I cry watching Coco on a plane. Like, it's a good movie if you like to cry every now and then. It's a little. No, Coco. Coco. It's an animated film that it's a real tearjerker. Yeah, a guy goes. A kid fakes that he's a ghost so he can go into heaven and save his father's soul. It's a solid one.
Aww.
Yeah, it's a good one. And there's a song, "Remember Me." Anyway. So
you're gearing up for training camp for some tough guy
in the
NFL
National
stuff.
Football League.
So what's so I've obviously seen Hard Knocks. I love the first one, the one with the Ravens.
Oh, that was
Tony
the best.
Ray Lewis, Shannon Sharp.
That team had so many characters, and they were so good.
It was great.
Yeah.
It was great. I love Goose. Rest in peace. And I gotta watch that one thing they just did. But anyway, tell me about what training camp's like for you. Because you guys, when you report in August.
I'll report next week. So usually like the last week in July.
Okay.
Usually.
And then you're there for what, 3-4 weeks?
Yeah, 3-4 weeks. You know, maybe like a joint practice with another team. Maybe play a couple preseason games. The schedule, you know, it changes slightly each year.
Okay.
So, you know, the basis of it all, you know, you usually get there last week in July. You know, you're there for 3 to 4 weeks, and then you usually start the season.
And you're like so it's big for camaraderie. That's when everybody's together. You guys all stay together. You have like a roommate. Just like a teammate.
Different teams do it different ways. I've been fortunate enough to, you know, stay at like my own apartment. So
okay.
Just at your own apartment, or like the team provided hotel, which is usually close to the facility.
Okay.
In the home, but usually a little bit further. So
right.
You know, you wake up early, getting out late, may want to stay closer, you know, get more sleep or whatever. But
There used to be a big thing where they'd want the team to go away so they can get away from distractions.
Go away to camp.
Like, you go to camp. Yeah. And, you know, but also at the same time, these are adults now. They're not kids. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, I think that's the thing. That's what you know. I mean, that's part of the commitment, and it's part of the the team building. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's part of the team building. Like, yeah, you got to go away for. You're a grown man, but you might have to go away for 3-4 weeks to, I always look at football like an army kind of. You know what I mean? Like we're lining up, and it's one of the things I love about it. We're lining up. Our guys here, line up your guys here. We're trying to put the ball down there. You're trying to put the ball down there.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? We got different. The quarterback can be your captain. Your coach is your general.
Mm-hmm.
The front line is like a front line guy. You know what I mean? The linemen are like doing battle up in the front, like the big guys. There's a different. So I think it totally makes sense to me that they would want to build that camaraderie. You need to trust the person next to you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And you're going to get to really know each other that
Eliminate
way.
the distractions.
Eliminate distractions for sure.
What do you think about the NFL? It looks like they're leaning towards maybe as soon as next year eliminating the preseason altogether and going to an 18-game schedule. What are your thoughts on that?
Really just follow,
Whatever it is.
I mean, the rules, they change and they fluctuate and they,
So much.
They move like that. It's like, all right.
Yeah.
You just got to kind of follow along with it. And I feel like recently, I mean, in your career, the rules have changed so much. Like they've made so many changes.
Year in and year out.
For sure.
And I think a lot of the rule changes have been advantageous to you as a receiver. Right? They're making it harder because they want to see touchdowns. They want to see throwing the ball and stuff. So if the defender gets up on you, like they're throwing those flags.
You can't be felonied over the middle anymore. I do miss a good felony over the middle, though. I do miss the.
I bet he don't.
No.
Yeah, no. We just saw that clip of they just brought a Netflix show called Receiver. You see about that?
I saw, but I didn't watch it though.
So I didn't see. I just saw a clip where Devontae Adams was kind of like giving some shit to Jimmy Garoppolo, right? Like they were kind of trashing Garoppolo from the clip that I saw, where he's like going across, he's wide open, he's missing him.
High and
they're
late.
throwing him, getting him leveled across the middle. He's like, I gotta get the fuck out of here. He's like, they're gonna kill me. like he's getting pissed.
Yeah.
Remember last year they did quarterback? Did you see that at all? Yeah, you're kind of like me. Sometimes I like to stay away from this. It's your job all the time, so you don't want to consume more of that. Yeah. But anyway, I thought it was interesting. Say again?
Eliminating the distraction. Look, I hope you guys do get an 18-game season, but I hope you get paid for 18 games, right? Because you went to 17 games and nobody got.
They got a good collection bargain in, I think.
They can do better.
You're saying what, for like the running backs?
Yeah, that drives me out of my mind. It drives me out of my mind the way that the salary cap works. First of all, a hard salary cap. We're seeing it in all the sports. It's ridiculous because you go to Florida and you have no income tax.
Right.
So that's double the money. If you get a $5 million contract in Florida, you'd have to get about a $9 million contract.
So you're saying if you're playing like for the Dolphins or the Raiders, I know Nevada's also no income tax.
Correct.
So
if you play for San Francisco and you make $10 million, $6 million is going to go. Gone. You know what I'm saying? So like, how are you going to have a hard cap? It's crazy. That's one.
Money go.
That's
gone.
Oh, buddy.
Government.
There's a show called
I think
Gerard
it's-
versus
I think it's out in-
You should
I think it's
come
out
on.
in Ukraine.
Yeah. Where does it go is great. Where does it go? And why, here's my thing. Why is that money better in these politicians' hands than in your hands, right? Like, how many guys do you know start businesses? How many guys do you know take that money and reinvest in their community? They buy houses, they get into real estate. It's not like NFL players and all, famous athletes, have a pool full of money in their backyard that they're diving into like Scrooge McDuck. I guess. I don't know. I don't know as many as you do.
Yeah, maybe down in his backyard.
Yeah, maybe you're diving into it and swimming through your Benjamins. But to me, the government shouldn't be taking that money because that money gets naturally reinvested into the community. Guys are opening businesses, guys are opening schools, guys are opening gyms, a lot of guys are getting into the arts now, which I love. Former athletes, Kobe Bryant, God rest his soul, LeBron James, Tom Brady, Omaha Productions, these, where people are failing a lot of society, a lot of athletes are stepping in, busting with the boys, our boys busting with the boys, sitting there, and they're stepping up in this production community. So again, and I know you don't want to talk about this issue, but I just don't. When people automatically assume that high taxes means lunches for poor kids and better books in school, but the fact of the matter, we've seen over the course of our lives that it doesn't. It means bombs halfway across the world to kill people that we'll never meet in places that we'll never go. So until that stops, I think that we should all ask that question loudly and often. What are you doing with this money? Where is this money going? Right? And what is being done with it that is better than what I would do with that money? And that's, and now but now just from a sports fan's perspective, from a New York Giants fan's perspective, it's like, man, you can't compete with it. How can you compete with Florida? If you're sitting here, like, not everybody is getting $40 million like Daniel Jones. A lot of the great teams are built on veteran minimum salaries. A lot of the great teams, like you brought up Baltimore before. I don't know why this isn't the archetype. You have Trent Dilfer, a quarterback, not making a ton of money. So because he's not making a ton of money,
put the pieces around him.
Everybody else on the team is good. An extra million here, an extra million there, because you're not spending 25% of your cap on a QB. It's like when you get a QB in the draft. Look at Ben Roethlisberger. Won his Super Bowls, rookie contract. Russ Wilson won his Super Bowls, rookie contract. Aaron Rodgers, rookie contract. They get broke. They get paid. Good for them. How many more Super Bowls did they win?
Yeah, that's a good point.
So I get it. Nobody wants to bet on, hey, we got to draft a quarterback once every 5 years. But if I'm sitting there and like what Saquon Barkley just happened, and Saquon, goes 6 years and has 8,000 all-purpose yards, even though he's been injured a bunch, and they're like, well, look, running backs don't get a lot. We can get Singletary for $5 million, so we'll give you 6. If I'm Saquon, I go.
You gotta feel disrespected, huh?
Yeah, I go. Okay. You guys win. I'm not a running back anymore. I play cornerback now, or I play the slot.
Yeah, put him in the slot.
So and this is I forget who it was that really raised a lot of attention to this. Where
is it? Josh Jacobs?
No, it was on the defensive line. He got franchised, and he got franchised as a D lineman, and he wanted to be franchised as an outside linebacker because they were making more money. And this is where they created that designation called edge.
Okay.
Because he was like, no, I want pass rusher money. And you guys are trying to pay me D tackle money. They're like, well, you're a D lineman. He's like, no. I'm an edge rusher. Forget who it was, but it was an asinine difference. It was like a $10 million difference.
Does this stuff get discussed in the locker room at all?
Yeah, definitely does.
Yeah.
All kinds of different topics. That's what I like the most about football is the camaraderie in that aspect. Because you got different guys from different backgrounds talking about different things, going through different things. So it's a way to connect to different type of people, and it's like 50, 60 of y'all in the locker room, and then not even counting other people who are in the building who have good resources as well. It's like
Right.
it's like a kind of like school, but school in the sense of like all of your classmates, are pro fighters, like all y'all share that, but then y'all all have different other experiences too that you guys can talk about, lifelong friends. So that's one of my many joys that I've always appreciated from football was the.
Who are some of your best friends in the league that you've acquired over times?
I've acquired a lot of good friends. I like good friends, different teams. each team, I feel like I have a couple solid friends that stick around.
Yeah.
But all the teams from Detroit to Cleveland to Michigan to, Cass Tech at high school to, every different level. I feel like I've met different type of people and been able to be blessed with connecting with different type of people who are like me as well. So.
Sure. Yeah, you guys are the best of the best.
When you
That's
got
what you do.
when you got to the league, we have a friend of the program, our good buddy Chaz Palminteri, knew that he was, he comes from the Bronx. He knew that he was going to sign this huge deal for a Bronx Tale for the first time in his life. He was going to have money. He came from nothing, right? And he knew that there was going to be national news that he just signed this big contract. So he started calling all of his friends.
This is an all-time player move. This is such a smart move.
He knew what was going to happen when it came out in the papers, so he calls up each of his friends from back home, and he asks them. He says, "Hey, look, I'm really hard up. Can you lend me 10 grand? I really need help. Can you give me 15 grand?" And all of his buddies go, I just don't have it. Chaz, I love you to death. Because he knew the next day in the paper it was going to come out that he signed this $10 million deal. And he didn't want anybody calling him asking him for shit.
He's playing a little defense. Yeah, right. That's some chess moves right there. But he said he had one friend who called and was like, "Hey, Chaz, I saw the news. Congratulations. Look, I need like 10 grand."
You got some balls.
Hung up the phone.
I got ass.
Yeah,
I got ass.
He literally just asked the guy. You know what I mean? And now this guy's like hits him right back.
So you know I don't have it, Chaz. You asked me. So when you were coming, you're a Michigan guy, like you said, you're your hometown. You went to school in Michigan, high school, college. Now you're playing. You get hit up by the people all the time.
Yeah,
thinking like
family members come out the woodwork.
Thinking you're Bill Gates over here. Donovan Peoples-Jones over here.
Did you get hit up?
I mean, I feel like I do. Definitely have good, relationships with my people. But better yet, good boundaries too.
That's what I was gonna say. You gotta set those good.
Yeah, how do you set those boundaries? I'm always interested in how that goes. How do you communicate that?
Well, I feel like depending on the boundary, like which boundary, depending on.
So if someone hits you up asking for money, like someone who you're not that close with.
I want to know why.
They got a business idea.
Oh, that's interesting. So you're not an immediate
You want to
no.
see it? There you go.
So you're not like an immediate no. That's interesting. So you'll consider it.
Yeah, I'm curious. I'm like, why you?
I would too.
Huh?
Yeah, I'd want to go down that hallway a little bit with them, just to kind of see if they're they're just trying to grab some money off you. If they got a legitimate thing, like they're trying to have you be an investor. Like it's there's differences, but I think for the most part they're just trying to have sticky fingers.
Yeah, can you sniff out the BS pretty easily, or what?
I wouldn't say that. I just want to know like the reason why and why that. I'm kind of curious, but why? If it makes sense, then it's like okay, that makes sense. But if it doesn't make sense, it's like I don't really make sense.
Mm-hmm. Do you have anybody that you?
Yeah, you got any stories like that? I know after my CM Punk fight, I had a few people asking for not even a lot of money. Or even like a reason, but I had people ask me for like a couple $100.
Couple hundred.
Yeah, but it's just like, wait, why?
If you're gonna make the ask, bro. Like the couple hundred.
What are you saying? Ask for more?
You gotta, if you're gonna make the ask.
I made $30,000. It wasn't, you know what I mean? It wasn't a crazy fucking.
So I got this idea for a car wash.
I'm signing an NFL contract.
Yeah. But who are your advisors? Like one of the things I hate hearing, and you hear it all the time, is guys leave the league regardless of what the sport, and within
talking about broke
24 months.
You see that? You saw that 30 for 30? The thing broke.
I didn't see that one, but it's talking about the same.
Yeah, it'd be a good one to watch just to educate yourself on it.
I know, record. I am not at all a movie guy. So
okay. What do you read? You watch? What do you do?
Yeah, read.
You watch
I watch
TV?
short films. I'm not a TV guy either.
What do you read?
It's weird though because everybody be like, "Have you seen this movie?" And I'm like, "No."
Yeah, I get a hard time about that too.
No, but I've probably seen.
Donovan,
I just made a joke about it.
Engage in the culture, buddy. Engage in the
trying
culture.
to, but then I'll be like, it just don't feel.
Well, look, here's my thing with it. I don't really like. If I'm gonna watch a movie, I'm gonna watch it at 20-minute clips. I'll watch it when I eat, I'll watch 20 minutes, and then I'm gonna go do something else.
That's insane. You guys are
Well,
killing
yeah, problem is we got a little bit of ADD. We gotta keep it moving.
10 to 15 minutes.
Yeah, that's so. I'm
YouTube.
I'm the same way. So my thing is this: I like listening to audiobooks. One, if I'm reading, all I'm doing is reading. I have to be sitting with my head in a book, looking at the words. If I'm watching a movie, because I want to pay attention to it, all I can do is watch that movie.
Right.
If I'm listening to an audiobook, I could be making dinner. I could be brushing my teeth. I could be going for a walk. I can do a lot of different things so I like to educate myself that way. Audiobooks or like podcasts, different things like that. Yeah.
He also has these tiny little beady eyes, so it takes him a long time to see like the word by word. You know?
Probably got good attention to detail.
Yeah, it's like
For real.
thing
That's how I read.
is
Duh.
How long y'all been knowing each other?
happening.
Too long.
Yeah, I don't know, years, some kind of years now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Both Jersey boys.
Jersey in the
Cut from
building.
same cloth.
Yeah, a lot of similarities. I've learned from touring with Dave Landau, a great comedian from Detroit. A lot of similarities between where they grew up and where we grew up.
Yeah.
Very blue collar, tough. You know, the different like.
Okay, what is blue collar?
Blue collar, so back in the day, the blue collar and white collar seemed to be the delineation between blue collared workers would have like dungaree jackets. They would work outside,
Working
on
with
their
their
docks,
hands. Okay.
you know,
While
skilled
white collar is like a
laborers.
guy up in an office with a pencil and a desk.
Oh, so like actual white collar versus.
Yeah, exactly.
That's where it came from. So guys who would wear like the white collars. So like in the '80s, they kind of even like made a joke about it with their style, where they would have blue shirts, but then would have like the white collar. You know what I'm saying? So it was like, and that you know, yeah, it's actually still a really good look.
Blue swirl or something.
Yeah.
This is kind of a cool thing you got. Are you a fashion dude? Is this something you like or what?
I got a good, pretty good sense of style.
What books were you reading? You talk about reading books. What kind of books you into?
I'm into a lot of different books.
You a Harry Potter guy?
No.
Game of Thrones guy?
No. I'm more into like self-help, educational books.
Think rich,
But
think and grow rich.
Something like that. Napoleon Hill.
Mhm.
You know, something like that. But I have read one fictional book called The Silent Patient. And that was actually like very interesting. It's like a psychological thriller.
Really?
Yeah. So like I found that I don't like movies. I can watch a good documentary and I can watch a good psychological thriller.
What are some good? I love documentaries. I worked in documentaries for a while. What's your favorite documentary?
I watch bits and pieces. I've been watching the Michael Jackson one lately.
Which one?
Which one is that?
The one where like they started saying that. You see that? Speaking of that, you see there's a conspiracy theory that Michael Jackson's still alive.
Yeah,
and he's living under
that
that guy
guy.
like David French or something like that.
No, I didn't see
Yeah.
that, but I saw that guy who was on. I think it was like Larry King or something
looks like
talking to him,
Burn
and he was
Page.
kind of talking to. Yes, exactly.
Yeah. Ooh, we gotta get to the bottom of this. Anyway, so you like self-help books. Nikki and I have had conversations about this before because I think there can be a lot of value in them, but I also think sometimes they're very manipulative. That would be the term I would use. Or almost condescending in some ways. Napoleon Hill, I feel like, is one of those guys as well.
I disagree. I like Napoleon Hill.
Sure. Different strokes for different folks. I mean, what if you had to give your top 3 books that have influenced you? Which ones would they be?
That's a great question. I definitely like Limitless by Jim Quick.
Okay.
I definitely like.
Limitless was great.
Is that
So you believe in unlimited human potential. If your mind's eye can see it, you can do it.
Just the limitless concept, yeah. Second book would probably be Atomic Habits, James Clear. And the third, maybe the 4 Agreements.
Okay.
Maybe the 4 Agreements.
I'm unfamiliar with Atomic Habits. What's that book about?
It's about habits, habit stacking, and how your habits shape, who you are.
What is habit stacking? So assume our readers know nothing about it.
Our listeners.
Our listeners, sorry, our audio let's just go with listeners.
Yeah.
All right, this is something I've been trying to work on with my family. Okay, so habit stacking is, say, you work a 9 to 5. You get up, whatever. You work in 9 to 5, and at 6 o'clock you got to take care of the kids. At 7 o'clock you got to eat. Oh, I have no time to work out. Okay, habit stacking is, throughout your 9 to 5, right after you're done on the computer, you're typing, whatever you're doing on the computer, boom, 20 push-ups. You know,
Gotcha.
right before you get back on, 20 squats. You know, right when you log off and go get something to eat, before you get something to eat, because you do that every day, you know, you're in this routine of doing things before you brush your teeth. 20 push-ups, 20 squats. Like, that's habit stacking. It's basically bringing in something that you want to do and tying it into something that you already do, so that you're not, you know, waiting to do it and then procrastinating and then forgetting about it and then, you know, it seems like it's all over there, kind of bringing it right.
Right, doing little bits throughout,
Mhm.
around things that you already have to be doing.
Yep.
That's good. I actually never heard about that either.
Now,
I dig it.
So basically, so for me, so like drinking water, like I have a, I'm not gonna say a problem, but I want to drink more water. I only drink water when I get thirsty. And it's like, okay, you're drinking water when you get thirsty, you probably get a little bit dehydrated. So I'm like, okay, you know, how can I drink more water? I never think about drinking water until I'm thirsty. So I get that, you know, feedback. Okay, I'm like, how can I, you know, put this into my routine? I'm like, okay, every time I go to the bathroom, it's going out, put it back in. So like,
Smart.
So I'm just trying to think of like different ways to like do things like that. So you're always on the go. Or I'm always in the car. Or I'm always, you know, doing this other stuff, like trying to bring the stuff that I want to do into that. So it's not, you know, because by the end of the day, you might be kind of tired, like, you know.
Yeah.
So,
how do you struggle? And you know, you guys are both very disciplined in your routine. How do you guys struggle with the monotony of it? One of the things that whenever I try to build a routine, I almost feel trapped by it, and I like rebel against the thing I'm trying to do. Like, oh no, fuck it, I don't want to do this at noon today. You know, like I don't want to do it the same way I did it too. Even with my comedy, we've talked about this before. I have a 60 minutes that I know kills, and I'm like, I did it twice. I don't want to do it a third time. Like, you know, so like there's something, and I think there's other people that are like this as well. I was reading somebody talking about procrastination is really, it's an anxiety and it's an avoidance behavior. It's people that look. The bottom line is you don't want to do the thing.
Right.
You know, like you're lying to yourself saying, I'm going to do this. The fact of the matter is you're procrastinating because you do not want to do it and your body is rejecting it. So you have to get to the root cause mentally of like, all right, what exactly is it that you're not doing it? Like writing. Like, why do I put off writing until the end of the night? Well, I put it off because I don't want any distractions. But also, if I'm being very honest with myself, and I've just come to this realization recently, I look forward to the distraction because I don't want to do the fucking thing. Like, I know there'll be a distraction, so I'm like, oh, there's going to be distractions, so, you know, I'm not going to be able to do it.
already taking yourself.
Correct, because with me, my anxiety is I can't do what you guys just talked about. I cannot write, like, people talk about, like, oh, just write one page a day. No, I write until the fucking scene is over. I write until the act is over. I write until I have a new 60 minutes. I can't write one joke. I have to see, I have a weirdness that I have to see how this thing ends, right? So for me, it's like, unless I'm completely committed to going for 5 or 6 hours, I don't even want to start.
As an extremist, I can relate to that. But I think that would, I mean, the easy answer would be you'd have to just put some discipline behind that and just make yourself do it, stop, and then if it's eating you up, you could do something like Donovan said, drink some water, go do some squats and some push-ups. Get back to it. If it's eating at you, that's probably a good thing. Then you get back to it. You know what I mean?
Sure.
So maybe if you started earlier in the day, wrote your first page right as you got out of bed, and then put it down, go have breakfast, whatever, you're going to still be thinking about it. And you could probably develop even more. I think a big part of, like how you asked about the monotony, I think it's discipline. I think it's discipline.
Look, discipline's a word. What does that actually mean, though?
It means you do it. It means you do the thing. You do the things you have to do. You're going to... We're all people, we all have feelings and emotions, and we're going to feel like, I'd rather sit on the couch and watch, you know, a fucking movie, or I'd rather go eat, you know, ice cream, or I'd rather sleep in, go back to sleep. But, like, there's things that have to get done. If you're trying to build to something bigger, you have to do those things. If you're
like that book.
If you're just okay with, if you're perfectly okay with what you have, then all right. But I think most people want more out of life.
Sure.
And so you have to go after that. And I think, you know how I talk about a lot of times, like I think the fact that we're all alive, again, I talked about this before, it's like you must have had some bad motherfuckers in your lineage to keep your bloodline alive. I think we're not from, you know, some scared-ass, weak-ass men. We're from, you know, some tough people with balls. I think we have to have those balls and go do what's necessary. Go do what needs to be done for yourself and your future.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? The future of your bloodline. You want to make the people that have kept giving you the ability to be alive, make them proud, and the future, make them proud as well.
You did good motivation for people.
So
Thank you. Thank you.
I agree with that, but I've also lived it where I had, an absolute goal in mind and an achievable goal and a brass ring. It wasn't when I was playing. It wasn't hard for me to wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning and do fasted sprints, and I saw the results. And when you're seeing the results, because I was trying to be a Major League Baseball player, and I knew that
It was the goal.
it was. So now, exactly. So without that goal, without that achievable motivation, without that, like.
So that's the thing, was why I say
The
discipline.
purpose,
Because
you know?
motivation can kind of come and go. You can feel motivated to go to the gym today,
Sure.
but tomorrow you don't feel motivated. You're not going to do it. But that's why discipline is a little better than motivation, because if you're disciplined, you're going to do it each day. The consistency.
There's just no way to know until you go through it. Like, I would love, put a pin in this in your brain and then circle back to me in 10 years when you're done fighting and you're working another job and you and your wife are raising kids and you wake up and be like, man, I do not want to fucking do legs today. And there's no real reason to do it. There's just no real reason to do it.
So you're saying it's the goal that makes you do it?
I think having purpose is the most important thing on earth. And I think for a lot of people that, you guys are in the hardest industry on earth. There's nothing easy about what you do. If there's somebody that wants, there's 10,000 people that want your job.
If there was a
right
pill,
now.
everybody would take it, but those people aren't getting up and doing this shit.
Correct. But that's what motivates you as well. What happens when that motivation is gone?
That's when discipline sets in.
And that's what I struggle with. And I think that's what 99% of us struggle with, is like, what's the where do you? And
I think
that's
there's
why
small
guys like
steps.
Jocko Willnick have. That's why guys like Tony
that's why-
Robbins
and
are
that's
millionaires.
why-
Trying to-
That's why guys like Jocko talk about getting up at 4 because he's doing something hard.
Yeah.
He makes himself doing it. And then an easy one, and this could probably go back to the atomic habits too. Make the bed. You don't want to make your bed. You know what I mean? But you could do that. And build on that discipline. You could take small steps.
I haven't made
on how
my
to do
bed
it.
in 15 years. Because in my mind, I'm like, I'm gonna be getting into it later anyway.
But
Is the first win that you can do in a day. Like, that's your first
It's
one.
Jordan Peterson's #1 rule for life.
I think I did not used to like when I was a kid. Why am I'm like, bro, I'm about to get in the bed and I'm about to flip the cover over. I'm gonna just get back in and just put the cover right back on, just how I left it.
Uh-huh.
But it's like the not doing it, it's like not wanting to do it, but then you did it. It's like that's your first win of the day, you know?
Mhm.
Like that's your first.
Gotta build on that.
Now you're rolling, you know. So then later in the day, you like, oh, I made the bed. Oh, just do it again. You keep doing it, and then you keep working that muscle.
I guess, yeah. I guess that's maybe part of it. Is like you're working that muscle, and I'm in this, growth mode. I'm in this self-sacrifice mode. There's definitely something to staying in that zone, and there's definitely something to like not allowing yourself even an inch to move the goalpost. Like, I had a good lunch. I can really eat a bad dinner, and it's like, I ate a bad dinner, so I might as well have dessert. And like these things steamroll as
Exactly.
well. They steamroll as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
They really do.
Positively or negatively.
But man, I'm just telling, and I'm telling you this as somebody that wishes I didn't feel this way. But it's just like, man, the motivation, just it goes away. You're just like, I don't like, what am I doing this for? I don't give a shit. There's certain. It's like why you got to stay on the edge, man. Like people hear about that shit. Like why, like you see it in like Wall Street, you see it in anything. Like you got to stay in the grinder, because the second you get out of the grinder, yeah, you can take a deep breath. Yeah, man, life isn't as hard. Yeah, it's better. You got stress. You're around your kids, but you lose that edge. You lose that ability. Like you take that one step off, and it's twice as hard to get back into that mentality. Once you kind of remove that brass ring, finding purpose is a very, very, very difficult thing. Very difficult. But, it's something to consider. I don't know how. I mean, listen, if motivation and purpose were easy, guys like Patrick Bet-David wouldn't exist. Guys like Tony Robbins wouldn't exist. Guys like Grant Cardone wouldn't exist. Guys like Jocko wouldn't exist. Like, people wake up every day. Smart people, accomplished people wake up and look for somebody to go, Bro, help me get through this.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think we're not saying it's easy.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It's because it's not. It sucks to feeling tired and sore to get up and go do the things each day. But whatever those things are in your life, you gotta kind of. That's why what I was saying before. You gotta kind of have the balls to just like whether it's you have whatever you're trying to build on. Just do the thing.
Sure.
Do the thing, but I think to help that those little habits can help as well.
Do you have that voice in your head? Like just like you have that voice in your head?
Yeah, you have to do it. Because if I don't, like I'm gonna feel like a bitch all day, and that's not a good way to feel. Like if you skip, like if I skip out on a workout, like I'll take fucking rest. You know what I mean? But if I know I should be there, I'm gonna feel like crap the whole day. Yeah. I'm not gonna feel good.
I'm the same way. I'm thinking about it the whole day.
It's gonna eat at you.
Damn, yeah.
Yeah, you miss it. You miss out on whatever the opportunity. You miss out on the opportunity. We only get so much. That this life's gonna be over before we know it.
And it is crazy. Like the more successful people you are around, you said something earlier. Consistency, right? Like being around people that are. I mean, I've been around guys who ran for president. Been around first round draft picks. Guys like you guys. High level people that have made hundreds of millions of dollars. And as I've been around these people, it's kind of shocking to me how normal people they are. They're not like otherworldly intellects. They're not like seeing the world in a different way. They're not like, you're not blown away by, oh man.
We're all just people.
You don't.
Same.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Good people. Good people's over here. But you would kind of expect, like, man, I was so blown away by how smart that. Like you would think this is Nikola Tesla. That's why he's so smart. That's why he's got so much money. And it's not. It's the consistency. They get up and they do what needs to be done every day, and they just get it done. And over time, they work 8 hours, 5 days a week, but they actually work all 8 hours, all 5 days a week. And then maybe they get a little bit more done than somebody that kind of really only works 6 hours a day and kind of takes most of Friday off. Like, I'm working, And over time, well, in a year, that's an extra 50 days. In a decade, that's an extra 500 days, right? That's a whole more of work that person has done in the same amount of time. In 20 years of career, that's 3 full years worth of work, right? And probably that person that takes Friday off, they'll start taking Thursday off. They'll start, checking out at lunch.
That momentum.
Yeah. And I read, I forget where it was. I'm trying to remember. There's 2 guys that are really great with this. One, I got to give a huge shout out. I don't know if you know him. Mickey knows him.
7-time Mr. Olympia.
You want to talk about discipline.
7-time?
7-time Mr. Olympia. Unbelievable and a smart. And what he's great is he's like, bro, time yourself. He's real big on being fair with yourself. That's his big thing. You got to be fair with yourself. You can't just be hard on yourself all the time. And you can't be easy with yourself. Be fair. If he's like, how long? He's like, how many emails can you get done in an hour? I'm like, I don't know, 10, 15. He's like, why don't you know? I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, have you ever timed yourself and how long it takes to write an email? I'm like, no. He's like, then you don't know.
That's some good regiment there.
There he goes. And he's like, how long does it take you to make a phone call? I don't know. You probably think it takes 5 minutes, but there's some people that you take a phone call for 45 minutes.
Sure.
So put it in your calendar that I have a phone call from 12 to 1. And if that phone call takes 10 minutes, boom, you just bought yourself 50 minutes. Get a quick workout in, drink water, whatever it is. But what was supposed to happen at 1 happens at 1. You don't just say, okay, my phone call's over, move the 1 o'clock up. No. 1 o'clock happens at 1 o'clock. 2 o'clock happens at 2 o'clock. Yeah, and then this way you don't feel.
No.
Yeah.
All that shit up.
So he's very good. And then there was another dude, and I'm trying to remember. I can't remember which one it was. It might be Robbins. I don't remember. But he has a 5x5 model that I love. And it's really helped me when I got to get locked in. It's 5 things that you do 5 times a day. 5 emails a day, 5 calls a day. It's more for like a sales guy to like lock in. But again, you talk about stacking. 5 emails doesn't seem like a lot. But 5 emails, 5 days a week is 25. 4 weeks in a month, that's 100 emails, right? 12 months, that's 1,000 emails a year.
Yeah.
So if one of those emails closes, if you close 1 out of every 100 emails, you email somebody about an investment, and you find, all right, I'll listen.
Yeah.
Well, 100 emails get you 10 meetings, and maybe those 10 meetings get you 1 sale. 1 extra sale a month just by being consistent in what you're doing. 12 extra sales. I mean, if you're making $2,000 a sale, what is that? 25 grand a month? Yeah. So like that sort of stuff, you know, is really interesting to me. But how do you guys stop yourself from it? See, for a guy like me, it's hard. I got to try not to do too little. How do you guys stop yourself from knowing when you're doing too much?
Don, why don't you go first?
Have you ever felt like you've done too much, overworked?
I know for a
burnt out?
fact that I have.
Yeah.
I definitely have.
It's something you have to. And you know, I think
a gauge, like a.
It's hard. Personal. I know people always said like, oh, like working out wise, like listen to your body. I'm the worst at that. My brain's always gonna say I could do more, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I think you gotta kind of almost like build things in. Like if you see like, all right, I've done 2-a-days, 3 days in a row. I should probably take a break, whether I want to or not. You know what I mean? And then some days you could be feeling like crap, and some days those are the best days you have. Right? Like that's something I know is, especially for guys in my sport, because you know it's the hurt business. You're beating people up or getting beat up every day, and there's days when the last thing you want to do is get out of that fucking bed, because you know right as I get out of that bed, everything's gonna fucking hurt. Yeah. Everything is gonna hurt, and you shake it off. You get into the gym, and sometimes those are your best days. You know. So
crazy how that just happens.
It's wild like that. I know it's really weird. And then some days you're feeling great, and that's the day you fucking tweak something. You know what I mean? Like so you never know. But I think if you just just try and attack it the best you can. Do something that you'd be proud of. If you were like watching yourself, do something that you would be proud of for the most part. But I think I've gone into, to answer your question, I've gone into I've done overtraining for years. Notorious overtrainer. I've had people tell me like, you're doing too much. Like you got to do less, because you want to. You think you can, that's how you're gonna get the most out of yourself. But there's diminishing returns. If I just sit, use an example. If I just sit on the bench press all day, eventually I'm not gonna get stronger. You know what I mean? I'm gonna hurt myself.
You should go to telyrx.com. That's TELYRX.com. They will help you with telehealth. You'll be able to talk to a doctor right there, get a prescription, or 20% off if you use code SNT. Not only do you not have to go to the doctor, but then you don't have to go to the pharmacy after you go to the doctor. One-stop shop. Go to TELYRX.com. That's telyrx.com, and use code SNT for 20% off. Now, very important question. Would you do better in the UFC, or would Mickey do better in the National Football League?
I guess I would have to go to the UFC, and he would have to go to the Football League.
No, you're not getting off that easy. How's it go down?
Oh, how can we ever know?
Well, I got a feeling it's going to be easier for you to try the Ultimate Fighter than it is for Mick to get an OTA tryout.
Yeah, that's true. I think if I had to go to the NFL, they'd have to put me like at linebacker, and I just have to dive at motherfuckers' legs if they got close to me.
How good are you at long snapping, bud?
Yeah, maybe that's.
You wouldn't be a long snapper.
No?
No.
Why not?
He wouldn't be that.
He too tiny?
No, like he'd be like I can see him being like a linebacker.
Linebacker?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. I just have to go low, bro. I don't. If I weigh 220.
He can hit though.
But
he can hit. So
you're not allowed to hit the way he hits.
Hitting is hitting.
Yeah, you can throw.
A hit is a hit.
Hitting is hitting. I can see that.
Not a.
It's a low kick at the guard.
I can't kick. That's tripping.
That's why you would be good at football, because you're not afraid to hit.
Yeah, that was my favorite thing about football. I love football.
Would you rather? Okay, here we go. Would you rather hit someone or get hit?
I'd rather hit someone.
Yeah, you probably be on defense.
Yeah. Now, guys talk about this in the clubhouse a lot, whether or not they would end up fighting. I imagine that they do. These guys are tough guys, big, strong guys.
Talking, and it's always like it's one of those things. It's like with your brothers, always messing around and I would, but like, all right, go in there with a real UFC fighter, like it's not.
I've trained with Greg Hardy. That's a bad mother sucker, dude. Like that's a so, big, strong, tough man.
I just feel like it's so technical. Like you can't just.
100%.
You could be all strong and but like it's a technique that they practice over years and years and years that they probably know that not regular people could even spot. Like they don't even know that they know this.
You see, you were looking for a fun answer, but the fact that we understand the sports the way that we do, we know we would both need a lot for either of us to hang in each other's.
I think it would be easier for a high-level NFL player to learn the techniques. And I don't know if they'd win, but they'd be competitive just on strength, size, speed, than taking the best 155er in the world and have him return some punts.
Maybe they wouldn't be a punt returner, but they could still probably be a great football player.
It's
the heart.
Yeah, I'm telling you, there's some fighters that
Chandler
I know.
Jones says he whoops John Jones' ass all the time. Arthur Jones.
There's some fighters I know that if they grew up like in America, playing football, they could have a real shot.
For sure.
You know what I mean? Because they have it's like that athleticism that, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But they didn't grow up like doing that. The same way, if you took, I would say almost any NFL player and you had them train and fighting their whole life, they could be great.
I can see you being a quarterback too, bro.
I got an arm like that, bro.
He just has a quarterback look. Yeah.
Personality-wise.
Be the face
of
the team. I could be a backup quarterback like the dude from Blue Mountain State, Just like I just hear it, for the parties and the girls.
Leader.
I heard someone. Yeah, hell yeah, brother. I heard someone saying the most loved position of football is the backup quarterback. Because anything bad your starting quarterback's doing, you're like, I wish we had Tommy DeVito in there. He wouldn't be making these mistakes.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Anyone who's actually on the field doing the damn thing, everyone's like, come on.
Yeah, I remember being a Giant fan growing up after Phil Simms. We went through Dave Brown, and everybody's like, put in Kent Graham. Kent Graham goes out there for one day. It was like, put in Danny Cannell. It's just like, who else we got, man? There's got to be somebody. So in the league now, 3 years in Michigan, you've had to play with somebody you think could be in the UFC. You've had to play with some bad mother suckers who you think, that dude.
We all.
Which one of his teammates? Which one of your teammates do you think would do the best?
I think.
And know that every other teammate you don't name is going to hate you forever now.
I think the homie David Njoku.
David Njoku.
Get in there
the
and,
big shirt. Yeah.
Jersey boy.
The dude burnt half his body and didn't miss a game. Probably would do okay.
Yeah. If he's ever trying to come over, holler at your boy. I'll help him out.
That'd be a problem.
Yeah, could you imagine?
6 foot, what is he, 6'7", 250?
Like 6'5", 2.
Explosive. That's
running fast.
Yeah.
Get them hands moving.
This is why I want to do something with the heavyweights, man, because like ultra heavy, imagine if we got some of them 320, 330 dudes in there. They're sitting there at the line of scrimmage basically hand fighting with each other all game anyway.
Incognito.
Oh man.
You know what I mean?
Tell me Brian, like we talked Brian McKinney's 6'9", 450. Like, okay, let's get
see there's a 265-pound limit.
Okay.
So like guys like Brock Lesnar had to cut down from like 280 to make 265 to fight. So that's why we're big on
cut down. I think
super.
315. I think he was walking around at that.
Some whatever.
Crazy.
But I think you're right. But then in shape he was 280.
Yeah.
And then we like the idea of super heavyweights. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You get the guys like any of the fucking badass like O-line, D-line guys.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That are big. You shouldn't make them suck down.
Like sumo.
Yeah, they gotta have super heavyweight.
Yeah.
Super heavyweight beast.
Everybody likes.
Because
it would give me a shot to actually fight. I'm not afraid.
Making 265.
I am not afraid of another human being. I will scrap. I am afraid of the scale. 265 would be the hardest fight of my life.
Yeah.
So I just don't drink enough water or have enough discipline or give a shit enough. To be honest, I've eaten grilled cheese and feel pretty good about it. So, which one of your UFC fighters do you think could have had a shot in the league?
I think my boy Jason Jackson could have been a good little cornerback had he not grown up in Jamaica. You know what I mean? If he grew up in America playing, playing ball, that could be one of them. A lot of guys, though, man. A lot of guys. Like
It's a lot. It's a lot of similarities from what I see in the term in the like realm of like, controlled aggression, a lot of heart, like a champion's mindset. Like I feel like
outwill your opponent.
Yeah.
Why
You
not?
gotta want it more. That was Walter Payton's big thing. He's like, I'm not the fastest.
Yeah.
I'm not the strongest, not the biggest, whatever, but I want it more.
Yeah, I am always
he's always
shocked by
said.
that, too. You see guys every year, they're running like 4.2s, 4.3s in the combine. They're unbelievable, and then they're just not that good on the field. And you're like, man, you're so fast. Like, why can't, why is it that – first of all, I don't know why, especially in the combine, they make you guys run naked. Like, I'd want to see you guys run with helmets and pads on because,
That's
if it's a 155-pound guy running a 4.2.
Yeah, I wonder how much the difference would be when you're in your, shoulder pads, helmet, all that shit versus you're
much
probably,
different.
Yeah, you're
Much.
probably. But I bet some people it affects more. You know what I mean? Some guys are coming in there
They
with
can't
the
carry
4.2s.
the weight, right? I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to circle back real quick.
good.
So, to your question, remember when I was talking about how I saw when I went to Chaz's acting class, and how I could tell how good he was, even though I don't know that.
Sure.
Right? I don't know football the way he knows football. He doesn't know fighting the way I know football.
Mm-hmm.
But we know our craft so well. I think it's a Miyamoto Musashi thing. He was a great samurai. Won all these battles, like probably the best samurai ever. He said, if you know the way in one ways, you can see it in other ways.
Mm-hmm.
So we know the reason why we can't answer your question the way you want.
Yeah.
Because we know what it takes to be great at our thing.
Yes.
And we know how hard it's going to be great at something else as well.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
I do, because I know how to make viral short clips. And I'm trying desperately to get a hook here. But, yeah, I totally get it.
All right, so if you're looking for a viral short clip.
I'm looking for flame. I'm looking for somebody. I'm looking for, I'd whoop Bruce Lee's ass.
Yeah.
Oh, I'll click on that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dude, just tell me you'd beat Mickey's ass in a fight, bro. Please.
What would Bruce Lee say? He would always answer these. I feel like Bruce Lee would answer these questions like perfectly, like so philosophical, but so like on point though.
I'd beat his fucking ass.
Hey, look, now one of the things that I do love, man, is when you see high-level competitors, this type of like, restrained confidence really does impress me. Like the person that comes out there and is like, oh, fuck everyone up. Like you see a rookie probably come into the clubhouse and he's talking shit, getting flashy. In your mind, you got to think like, okay, we'll
see how long it lasts.
Yeah, we'll see. Right? Because you can't live and die and you can't fight every battle, right? You have to focus on you and do your job. But at the same time, in your business, you have to be just like an insane competitor, I would imagine.
Yeah.
You have to want it so bad because it's probably easy to not. It's probably easy to be like, okay, I'll skip OTAs or I'll skip voluntary stuff or, I mean, you look at a guy like Aaron Rodgers. Do you think him skipping OTAs has an effect on his clubhouse, or the guys in the locker room know he's 40 years old, he doesn't need OTAs? How do you think something like that goes with him?
It's hard for me to say because I wasn't there with him.
Yeah, but if you were out there and you knew one of your guys isn't out there, do you not care about it, or do you like, why do I have to do this? Is there any?
Are you kind of like all right, he's doing his thing, or is that like it shows a lack of commitment to the team? How would that reflect on like your eyes or the teammates' eyes?
Well, I think it could go like two ways because I think it could be like, okay, he is here, he is committed to the team, he is committed to the guys, but on the other hand, I can see it being like, okay. He's aware. He's away, but he's like prepping himself, doing everything he can possibly do so that he can help the team more in the season. He's doing more.
Okay.
He's mature enough to.
And you'd think a guy like Rodgers would have that, that type of cachet, that respect. You know what I mean? He's done it.
For sure.
So you got to kind of be like, almost like defer to him. Like, all right, if that's what A-Rod thinks best, then it's probably what, you know what I mean?
Something he's been working. So.
But also,
exactly.
You are talking about, you need a certain level of pride and a certain level of ego here.
Is A-Rod good to go this year?
That seems to be. But it's like, there has to be a certain level of, well, shit, if you don't have to be here, why am I here? Like, it has to creep in.
Sure.
It has to. Like, nobody wants to do that. I don't imagine. You know, nobody wants to be out there, you know, early July, end of June doing drills when they're, you know, walkthroughs and stuff like that. I mean,
I think some guys do.
you think so? Think guys want to?
I would imagine earlier in their career, they'd be more like excited about that. This is just what I make up. You know, Don could answer the question better, but I imagine, you know, it gets monotonous as to what you were saying earlier. For probably some of the vets, you know what I mean? They got maybe a family and kids and stuff, and maybe they don't want to, you know what I mean? It's like, I've done this 100 times, you know?
I can tell you spring training, man. Like, you know, pitchers and catchers, we get out there.
You guys report early.
2 weeks early. Do you know why catchers report out there 2 weeks early?
For the pitchers?
To catch the pitchers. Ain't shit. We're not taking batting practice. Nothing for us. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, you know, go hire somebody to do this shit. Like, make it a fan experience. Like, you know, come on out and catch our pitchers.
Nah. They need to get you guys getting your.
Yeah, and look, you do get to know the guys, and you get a good rapport, and it's good to get in there early. And there's a ton. The training staff, the stretching, they're like, when you get a chance to be in a professional environment, you know, I would never fucking leave. I'm half joking. I loved it. I actually was one of those guys that liked being there early. I felt that purpose. I felt like I was one of those guys that showed up. You know, we were supposed to be there at 6. I'd get there at 5, and I'd be there until like 11 o'clock at night. Like I loved being around it. I soaked it all in. But there was also this idea of like, they just need me to catch the pitchers here. You know, like that's, you know, whatever. You know, and that's part of it though too, right? But there's worse things to do. I could have been roofing. You know, I could have been fucking roofing. You know, I could have been
up on the fucking roof in August, sweating your balls off.
Yeah, there's worse things to do.
A lot of friends who did that. Now I got a question for you.
Yeah.
So I'm interested in like kind of like schedules, right? So what's your in season schedule like? Now I know I asked about training camp, and another thing I'm interested in is food. I bet they got some good ass food around the clubhouse for you guys, right? I remember in the referring to that Ravens Hard Knocks, they had like this big buffets, all this good food, because you know you got to fuel these high level athletes.
Bro, I heard the Yankees just put in a personal chef in the clubhouse.
Fuck yeah, they should.
A personal chef in the clubhouse.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So what type of good stuff do you have? And then I want to get into a little schedule.
Yeah.
Schedule like in season, like what that's like.
Yeah. Definitely for like diet. The clubs definitely they do have chefs in there. They do have you know, different chefs and different buffet styles. Each team is different though. Each team, you know, some teams have better food. Some teams don't have good food. Some teams have people who enjoy the food. Some people on that same team have people who are like, I don't even like the food.
What kind of food are we talking? Like, do they have you guys all eating like clean chicken,
picturing
fish,
like
rice?
eggs and?
I feel like there's like it'd be like a rice or like a, you know, chicken or like a steak, you know, a fish option, you know, a pasta option. There's different types of
like,
options.
Like fettuccine Alfredo? Like, I can't imagine you guys are eating that stuff.
Yeah, no, bro.
Maybe once a week or like different.
And they're burning calories like a motherfucker.
Yeah.
And they don't need to worry about making weight. They want a lot of these guys, they want their weight up. Obviously, some of the guys, they want the weight down. But, yeah, they got to be feeding these guys some good
They
stuff.
still have beer in the clubhouse? We used to have beer in the clubhouse.
I've never seen a beer in there.
Never?
Nah.
I wouldn't expect that.
Really?
I would think they'd have to bring your own beer in.
Really?
Yeah.
We used to have kegs in the clubhouse.
Yeah, nah, that's not.
They'd only bring them out after the games.
Yeah, I can't see that. I can't see that.
No?
Yeah, so what other type, what are you usually eating on like in training camp? So you guys have like a breakfast, lunch, dinner?
Yeah, some places have breakfast, lunch, dinner. Some places have places where like the cafe's open all
day.
times.
Okay.
So you could, you know, sometimes I've been in there all day, get there early a little bit, stay there late, probably eat 4 or 5 times in the facility. But like it's different meals. You know, they'll have like 2 to 3 different meals, breakfast meals and, you know, lunch meals, and then maybe like some stuff in the back for the guys who don't want that, like sandwiches and
and Hard Knocks, you always see them always with the snacks, walking in different with the popcorn or the this or the that. Like in their meetings, they're always munching on something.
Yeah, definitely a lot of snacks. But that's all like player driven, individual driven things that I feel like the players bring to the facilities, because guys want to feel at home too. Like, you know, if you drink Monsters at home, you know, you want to have some Monsters at work because we're there all day.
Yeah.
So it's like you kind of got to bring your home into there too. So
okay. So what's your in-season schedule like in the life of Donovan Peoples-Jones?
So we practice on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday.
Monday, Tuesday off.
Tuesday's usually off. Monday usually. So Sunday we play a game. I'm gonna
Right.
start with Sunday. Sunday's the game day. You know, it's when we win.
Mm-hmm.
And then we come in Monday. Usually do like a lift in the AM, and then after that, kind of watch the meetings.
So what time they have you come in for the lift?
Maybe about 9 o'clock.
Okay.
8, 9 o'clock. Probably be out by 12. You know, you watch the meetings, watch the tape from the day before. Officially, you know,
Which can be
with the guys.
awesome or terrible, huh?
Yeah.
That tape.
Definitely.
Yeah, that could
So
be a
it's
great
either-
time. That could be like a high fives and like, look at what Donovan did here. It could be
Yeah.
like, Donovan, what the fuck is this? So,
Yeah,
right, they'll rip you in front of
We're
everyone.
sitting there going, no, I think we maybe should have kicked this field goal here.
But I remember watching like tape and like high, and like you just like if you've like fucked up on a play and you just hope they didn't see your watch because you're watching yourself every time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're hoping the else you just can't get fucking you're trying to hide away.
My
Nah.
coach,
And you know when the play is coming too, so you're like, oh, what is
Yeah.
he gonna say? But I mean, that's the thing about the job part of it. You know, the accountability part of it.
Mm-hmm.
It's, you know, you do well, good. If you don't, you know, okay, what didn't you do well? Okay, let's make that better. You know,
Yeah.
and it's a repetitive cycle of that, day in and day out. You know, that I feel like, you know, that's that fairness. You know, got to be fair. Like, yeah.
And that's what we had to do in that last episode with Skyler when the camera was all over the
Oh,
place.
yeah, just
you know what I mean?
improving.
We had to let him know you're getting the high level pro
Yeah.
athlete treatment here.
That's
Bro.
right.
Appreciate it too, man.
Yeah, man, it's
No.
gonna make you better.
turn the microphone off.
Yeah, before we start hearing click clacking again. All right, so Mondays you get a lift in, you watch the game film, and then you guys are done for the day.
Yep,
Send you
Mondays,
home?
get a lift, watch the game film, usually done for the day.
Around what time?
I'd probably say about 12, 1-ish.
Okay, so you got the rest of your day to do whatever you like.
Yeah, depend. Okay, you got to get in there at 8. Okay, then we're maybe done at 12. You get in at 10, maybe done at 1 or 2,
Okay,
something like that. But then you usually have the rest of the day. That's my favorite day.
Monday. Besides your game day.
Yeah.
Do you ever
The day before the off day. Because on the off day, you're thinking about, the next day.
So now, wait, Tuesday's the off day?
Tuesday's the off
Do
day.
you ever watch the actual broadcasts of the games? Do you ever go home
Nah.
watch the commentary of the broadcasts?
No, because when I come home and my mom is at my house, she's watching it.
Gotcha.
So it's already on. I don't even have to do it.
I'm interested to know how different the game is from the broadcast that we get compared to the angles, the all 22s, and the film that you're watching. Like, how different is it from what we're seeing?
This is ours. What we're watching.
Pause.
This is theirs.
Yeah.
Right, they got to
It's the
keep
production
the
and-
production
yeah.
going. Keep
But
the
then
show
that's the good part because my mom's like, I was like, hey, did you hear what they said? Or hey, look at it. That is the production moment. That's like, oh wow, they and then they'll say something about it like, oh yeah, he's been working on that. He's been getting better at this each and every game. He's been catching these passes. He's been doing this. He's been doing that. So it's like, okay, that positive reinforcement sometimes can help too.
That's
But
got to be
then-
cool to see.
Oh yeah, it
Like
definitely is.
especially when you're on like Sunday Night Football or
Yeah.
Monday Night Football and they
Sure.
introduce everybody. And you're
For
like,
sure,
yeah.
for sure,
Well,
for
the,
sure.
the reason I bring it up is because
It's like, sorry, not to cut you off,
please, no, please.
but it's like when you were watching it as a kid,
Yeah,
you're
you're
always
there
watching
now.
dun dun dun,
Yeah.
and the singing the songs and the Sunday Night football. It's a
Ready for
party.
some football?
Oh. You don't hear that when you playing.
Mhm.
It's just normal.
Yeah, just grunts.
Yeah. On TV, it's
But
like,
you to come back from commercial. That's the worst part of going to a football game as a fan is just sitting here like watching the players just waiting.
Right.
Come back from commercials. Like, my God almighty. Like, what are we doing here? Come on, get the game
Yeah.
going. But so the reason I say Eli Manning specifically is one of these people that David Deal was telling us if you watch the all 22, I guess he calls it or whatever, whereas you see all players at all times on the film or whatever, it's like above the end zone angle, I guess.
okay.
There's things you just don't see on TV where it looks like this is a horrible pass and this quarterback stinks.
Yeah.
But then you're looking at it from a different angle and there's an option route.
Maybe you saw what he saw, or
And it's
or
the
a
receiver
miscommunication.
cuts off his route and he's throwing to where he thought he would be. So I wonder, I guess what I'm asking the reason is how differently specific to a guy like Daniel Jones or somebody like that where the fans were just done with him. Like, this dude can't play. But then every one of his teammates is always defending him. And it was like, okay, are they seeing something different in film than we're seeing, or are they just kind of defending their guy?
Yeah.
Is there have there been guys that you've played with that you feel like
You didn't like my schedule question?
no, well, I mean, no, please.
I can't wait to hear what he does on his off day on Tuesday and the rest of the day. But go ahead.
No, please, go ahead. And then if you could break it down minute by minute, that'd be even better. So, no, please.
So yeah,
Tuesdays.
so you're
Tuesday.
So you're out on Monday. You're out on Monday at like noon. What do you do the rest of the day?
I usually like to get some food. Come home, maybe do a little treatment or something. Kind of get away. Get away. Maybe, that's time for me and my girl to spend, or maybe that's time for me and my family to spend. And then Tuesday is like, well, it's either Monday or Tuesday. One of those are like my day.
Right.
Like I'm not doing.
Uh-huh.
Like that's my day. So it depends, how it usually goes. It probably feels better to do that on a Monday because, you don't have to do anything on Tuesday. So Monday night sleep is you can sleep in.
Right.
I sleep in till my body wants to wake up.
Yeah, I think that's important. On my off days, I do the same thing.
Oh, and then Tuesday, it's like, it's all.
So important. I just read, taking naps is so good for you. They said there's no medication that can do this for your heart what a nap can. If you nap like 3 to 4 times a week from like 20 minutes to an hour, it reduces the rate of heart disease by I think 68%.
You're probably you're
Crazy.
Probably, like,
they say
calm,
that's
yeah.
why people in like Spain live so long because the siestas is like part of the culture. Like taking
How
those
do you
naps.
nap for 20 minutes?
It's a lot of people do that. It sucks. If it sucks, but so does
It's hard.
So does
That's one of
napping
those
for
things.
2 hours.
That's one of those things. It's like
Getting
I
up
feel like
sucks.
it's
Call
tough
that a
to
power
do.
nap.
Yeah,
20 minute
power
nap.
naps. Yeah, it's tough to do, but it's like like you said, it's really beneficial.
So it's and all like us fighters, we swear by it. You go to the gym in the morning, you go home, eat, go to sleep, get up, go back to the gym,
Yeah.
go home, eat, sleep,
Yeah.
repeat. That's
Yeah.
the monotonous thing
Yeah.
schedule you were talking about.
Yeah.
Speaking of schedules,
Yeah.
we're at Wednesday now.
Right. Okay. So Wednesday, that's a normal work day. It's 8 to 5.
You're at the facility from 8 to 5?
Yeah, about that.
Whoa, so you're doing like you do a practice, you do like some film breakdown, you're game planning for the next week. Like
Yep.
what?
We get in. It's usually like maybe a lift in the AM. Meetings, lunch, practice. After practice, more meetings. In those meetings, yeah, we are planning for that Sunday's game. We don't really look too much at the past game. We may like implement a couple different things, but we pretty much have our eyes set on like the next opponent. So the first Monday meeting is like, okay, look, this is who we're playing. We go through the team, go through the players, go through
Right.
the systems, and go through what we're gonna see that next Sunday or whatever day, the next week. So it's like Wednesday's a big preparation day. A lot of phases of the offense go in. Thursday, another big preparation day. A different part of the offense goes in, and then Friday is kind of like red zone day. Work on the red zone parts of the game and work on the 2 minutes and different parts of the game that you would do. All
different facets.
All facets are broken down into different days that could come up in the game.
How does it work if you're on different teams? Like you're on special teams and on offense. Is there any other crossover between?
It's like
those
you got more
schedules, or-
work as being like a returner
Yeah.
and a wide receiver.
Yeah. I'm used to that though. I've been playing, receiver and power returner for really my whole life. So it's something I'm super used to playing, offense and special teams. So it's really just about being engaged and like that constant improvement and you're watching the same things over and the coaches, they're saying the same things over and over and over. It's just like over and over and over.
But
When you get a-
offense
when you
isn't
get a-
practicing while special teams is practicing, there's never any crossover.
Oh no, usually the offense, different teams break it up, but usually it's like special teams has a segment, O&D have a segment, little bit of special teams, and then we finish with O&D.
Mhm.
So it's like this.
So when you have a Thursday game, that must throw a monkey wrench into the schedule.
Oh yeah,
Because you can't start on Wednesday. You got to probably start if you play Sunday and then you play again on Thursday.
Yeah.
You lose that off day on Tuesday.
yeah.
You
do lose it off.
gotta run kind of hard for those few days.
Mhm.
Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday.
Is that
boom,
enough
game.
time to recover your body? Is it enough time to recover by Thursday? If you're being honest. You play on Sunday. Is your body physically ready?
Basically getting into car accidents on that field all Sunday.
We do it, so yeah.
Mm.
I mean, that's what you got to do.
Probably
like,
not ideal, but it's what's ideal
Look,
anyway.
I'll advocate if you
You
don't
should
wanna
probably
get
play
yourself in
football
trouble.
once a month.
Yeah,
You know what I
yeah.
mean? Like but that's what makes it hard. That's what makes it beautiful. That's you know what I mean? The hard things is what makes things that's what greatness is.
Sure.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, for like a gambler, all you need to know is that I believe last week in 18 NFL weeks, the Thursday night, I think they play 12 weeks Thursday. It hit the over once.
Okay.
So it's just not good football being played on Thursday nights. Regardless, it's just not a great product.
Right.
So whether the
But
guys
how
do
great
it,
is it
I
having
get it.
football 3 nights a week?
It's too much.
Yeah.
I'd rather have good football. Like if I were like the XFL, that's what I would want to do. I would want to do Thursday nights and become like a legit minor league
Right.
for these teams. Like teams have injuries, you can call up a guy from the XFL.
Is the XFL happening?
Yeah,
When's
I
that
think they just did it. I think it's over now.
It's over?
Yeah, I think
I
so.
missed that.
Yeah, they did it. They do it in the spring.
Okay.
But if I were them, man, I would do it on Wednesday or Thursday. Like try to make a deal with the NFL, cut some kind of deal. Like NFL, they just want it for the money. Amazon gave them $1 billion, so yeah, of course they're going to do it. But it's just not good football. How could it be? Like you said, they're missing an entire offensive install, an entire defensive install, and the guys are not healthy. So and then they got the
when you in the game on Thursday, that's all you see is all of that stuff just goes like
you're just playing.
yeah. I mean, you kind of get
Step
used
step
to it,
up
and it's
for
like
the moment.
yeah, because like once you in the it's like you in the arena. It's like okay, whether the fight was on Monday or it was on Friday,
You just
like,
want
you
a
don't
ball.
even know what day it is.
I bet you for some guys like Kadarius Toney that very obviously hate practice, he probably loves a Thursday night game. He's like, yeah, let's do it.
Let's practice.
Let's do it. Let's do it Tuesday. Let's do it Wednesday. I don't. I'll show up at the games, man. I can see that. For guys like him, he'd probably really be into that. But I bet you there's a bunch of offensive linemen that would like another couple days.
Sure.
Bet you depending on how
You
bad.
got Aaron Donald coming to town. You're like, yeah, I'll take it. So we're gonna both block him, right?
Yeah, we're gonna
Double team or what?
Yeah, hey, how come I see all these packages where all the skill position guys come in and out? Can I get a series off here or
Yeah.
no? I think the Giants tried that with Joe Judge and it did not go well.
Yeah.
He tried like rotating linemen in, and it apparently for whatever reason it didn't work out. The linemen need continuity, I guess.
Yeah.
Never come off the field. It's a tough one. And then do it again on Thursday. High five. Like, give a guy like Jason Kelsey, right? Like fuck.
Yeah,
what was
man.
he like 275, undersized, didn't miss a game for 13
Yeah.
years. Or
I'm happy he's
whatever it
getting the respect, even though I hate the fucking Eagles.
was. That dude can play.
Yeah,
What do you think makes a? Oh well, one question before. I know we're getting a little long here.
Yeah.
When going back to what we talked about before, when guys do sign big contracts, are guys happy for them, or are they thinking like, now the team can't afford me, or are the guys aware of the salary cap? How does that work within the locker room when you see somebody they get a huge contract? I'm sure you feel good for them, but at the same time, everybody must be looking around like, man, I got a contract coming up too. Like,
I mean, I feel like that's just a business aspect of work. Like.
But everybody else.
That's a
every
great
other
what
job
he
on
just
earth-
said. What he just said is huge though too, because when we're kids and we're aspiring to these dreams and stuff, you're not thinking about that part.
Sure.
But when you get there, it becomes you realize you're a pawn to the business, and you realize I want to get mine too.
Sure.
You know what I mean? So even though these things are your dreams, it becomes work. Like I always say, like people say, if you do what you love, you never work a day in your life.
Yeah.
I say bullshit.
Yeah.
Because if you're gonna
Working every day.
if you're gonna attack that, you're gonna attack that, and you want to be great in that, and you have big aspirations and goals,
Yeah.
it's gonna be fucking work.
Yeah.
I don't care what you're doing, how happy you think you're fucking
100%.
nice you think your anyone else's life or job is. Like if you're just gonna hang back and just okay with that shit, maybe, but not anyone who's great or who you're gonna know. All of these dreams, they become a business because you see how they're gonna, or else you're just gonna see how they're just gonna business you. You gotta have your business as well. I've talked to people in multiple sports who are like, yeah, I see, wow, like the business. There's a time when it hits you too, where you realize you're like, damn, like it's a business.
I always said I would play for free until I took my first 18-hour bus ride with a team full of Dominicans. I was like, I think I need to get paid a little more money to do this. I would always do it for free.
Because it's not just a fucking game.
No.
Yeah, it's a game, but it's a business.
Part, yeah.
It's a business.
It's everything.
A business game.
Yeah, it's you have. So there's the human aspect of like I'm required to do this. I can't show up when I want to. I can't do it the way I want to. There's porn stars out there that have sex for a living that wake up and go, oh God, Monday. Like it's your job. It's not the fun that it once was.
Yeah.
But part of that, and this leads into my last question. Part of that fun is having guys that make it fun, having those glue guys,
for sure.
being around guys.
Yeah.
And I used to
Huge.
love the guys that like the jokester guys in the locker room that were great at pranks. We used to have some teammates that were fantastic at pranks, and they would have that perfect ability to know exactly where the line is without going too far, and like keep it really fun and keep it light. Hazing, I guess, is kind of gone. Guys don't really haze anymore, right? Or do they?
No, I don't.
Yeah.
I've never really seen it. Really.
Yeah, I think hazing is pretty much gone. I think that's good because hazing went too far. But are pranks still a part of locker room culture? Are people still pranking one another?
Maybe with the rookies a little bit.
Yeah, what are some pranks that you've seen and that you've gone through?
Make them dress up for like Halloween and like a freaking like stupid elephant walking around doing his meetings like with his backpack, but he's an elephant.
You ever
like
did
that.
what type of shit like that happen to you? Like we see on Hard Knocks where they make them sing or whatever in the beginning of the season in front of the whole team.
I'm thinking COVID.
Oh, COVID gave you a break, huh?
What? That was something I did not want to do. That is something
Yeah, I
I did
bet.
not
Oh,
want to
you don't hate yourself in front of everyone? Yeah.
No. I'm like,
100%.
bro, like when I ain't gonna want to do that.
Worried for it, yeah.
COVID
for
came
sure.
in. Like, all right, bet, cool.
Yeah.
Thank
Did you
Ah.
like so back in the
I would have loved to make a full damn fucking disease.
the Mets in like 86, 87 were like notorious for they would pull something called the parcels
Yeah.
because the year before the Giants made pouring Gatorade on the coach a thing. Apparently it hadn't been a thing before.
That's when that started, huh?
Yeah, it was like Harry Carson.
86 when the
Harry
Giants won
Carson
it.
did a whole thing about it. He would wear like a cloak, he put
Yeah.
a mask
Cloak.
on. Yeah, he had like and he'd show up and he'd dump the Gatorade on the tuna there. So then apparently the Mets started doing what's called the parcels to their teammates in the locker in the hotels. So they'd be in these like 5-star hotels and they'd fill up entire garbage, like full garbage bags of not garbage bags. What are the containers? What would you call those things? The big plastic garbage.
Called a garbage bag.
Sure.
I know what you're talking about.
They fill it up with water and then they'd lean it on the guy's door. They're in their hotel. So the guy wakes up at 8:00 in the morning and he opens the door. The hotel door's open in.
The whole thing dumps on him.
The whole thing
Oof,
dumps on. So they would, and then they were escalating. So we had I had 2 seasons where we started prank wars with one another.
I had these shoes on, I'd be pissed.
Another great one is like
Irate.
the people that work at the hotels, they really don't know who they are. They just can tell that you're part of the team. So you
Yeah.
go up and you're like, hey, I forgot my key. And they're like, oh, what's your name? It's like, I'm Mickey Gall. And I'm like, okay, Mr. Gall. And you just take and you go up to the room and you'd put like a bag of popcorn in the microwave for like 10 minutes and then walk out of the room. So they're
Stink out the room.
The next 3, like these sort of things, man. All these
Burnt popcorn.
all these the worst that ever
See,
happened.
that would get into my sleep routine.
Yeah, I'd
Nah, I'm
be
not-
pissed, bro.
nah,
I
nah.
wouldn't.
I can
wouldn't-
smell weirdly. I can
Same.
kind of
The worst
kinda
that
weird.
the worst that ever happened to me. The worst that ever happened. And remember, I'm a catcher and I'm sweating. And I think I've told you this one.
Me too.
And this was
I'd be catching this way.
hey, you are a cat. Yeah.
Yeah.
We're basically the same. That's what everybody keeps saying in the comments. They're like, I can't tell you guys apart. So we got a long bus ride after the game. In baseball, you play 3 games in the same place.
Yeah.
And on the Sunday, it's normally a day game so that you can drive home to wherever. Monday's a day off, play Tuesday. So after I just play this game in the hot weather, catching, I come back into the locker room and somebody has taken my street clothes and they took all of the athletic tape and they taped all my street clothes up into an egg, drew little Yoshi circles on it, dipped it in water, put it in the freezer for the entirety of the game. So I have my clothes frozen in an egg, and I have to sit there for the 6 hours in the car ride in the wet, sweaty uniform that I just wore for the game.
That's not cool. Like I would not even find, like, you know, like, that's just, I get it, but like, just don't
touch your stuff.
Yeah, no, not that.
Well, didn't they? Wasn't it the Lions too? Wasn't it some? Maybe I'm thinking of somebody else. There was a guy who was driving around like a 1998 Honda or something like that for a long time, even though he'd been in the NFL. And the guys, like, they totaled it, they wrecked it on him, like as a prank. But then they bought him like this beautiful new like F-150 or something like that.
That's messed up.
Yeah, and I know there was another one where I think this is the one maybe with Richie Incognito that really did it, where they had the rookies, they ever had all the rookie linemen out for dinner, and then they all walked out on this like $10,000, $11,000 bill and left them to like pay it, buying like $5,000 bottle of wine and stuff like that.
See, I understand the prank part, but like, that make you just not look at the person the same. Like, you know, I get it, but like, come on.
Yeah, they're like, ha, and you're like,
come on, like, no, this is not funny.
fuck my shit up.
Yeah,
You know, that's not funny.
I'm sending Venmo requests.
Now you
This is
mad,
great, but,
now
like,
you know, it's like, all right, but it's not funny.
Some guys don't know where the line is between playful and funny, and like they go straight up bullying, and they can't tell the difference between the two. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, I think sometimes those pranks can be real funny, but also, you know, I mean, isn't that something that happened with the Giants?
I'm grabbing that. Get a prank.
What?
That thing over there on the seal.
Oh yeah.
I'm grabbing that. They pranked me. Yeah. What is that?
Oh,
It's
these
Nux.
things?
That means it's a belt buckle.
Oh,
It's a
yeah,
belt
yeah.
buckle. It's a belt buckle. you
Okay.
know? Yeah. It's
Belt buckle.
It's a belt. This right here
Yeah.
is a belt.
So it's
buckle.
not. So it's legal.
Yeah.
Now it's an illegal
now
weapon.
it's a Class A felony. But this is just now it's just part of your clothing. You know what I mean? So
Don't need
Yeah.
weapons, man. No weapons.
yeah, I agree. These are the only guns you need. Do you ever have to register your hands, Mick?
Yeah, you know. We gotta pull up that Rob thing.
That was
Boy.
so funny.
So you ever hear that it's actually Rob Costa from the gym.
Okay, yeah.
So he was so funny. He was in our comments, and like I think we were making a joke about how people used to say like I had to register my hands as weapons.
Yeah.
Right? It's bullshit.
Yeah.
Not real.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, not real. But everyone made that thing up, so like they thought it was real.
I can't get into a fight with you, bro. I'm emotional.
I registered and certified.
I think it's someone's way of getting out of a fight that they didn't want to get into. It's like, bro, I'd kick your ass right now, but these hands are registered. I'm gonna go to jail. You know what I mean?
So long.
It probably did, right? And they get a little fucking cachet from being like that badass.
Yeah.
But Rob goes in the comments and starts talking about that. And someone's like, that's not true. He's like, no, it's true. I saw the certificate. Like he was trolling this guy, like fucking with him. It was so funny.
I don't know where you came from, but I know a guy that did it.
Yeah,
It's
it's
like,
I don't
you
know where
definitely
you're
don't.
from,
He was
but
fucking with him all
yeah,
the
he
time.
was
It
fucking
great.
with this guy. Shout out Rob Costa.
All right, last
He
thing.
takes good care of us.
Last thing, DPJ. All right, fantasy football, man. Give us your sleepers. Give me 3 fantasy. If you give me 3, and now give me 3 great fantasy football sleepers for this year. Who's
Across
3,
the league.
3 people that everybody's sleeping on that's gonna have a monster year.
Other than, who can I say?
Anybody, whoever you think.
Well, I
brother.
would think it would be you and 2 other people, but I mean, you if you want to be
Okay.
humble, give 3 people.
Yeah, no, always humble. I would say, I don't play fantasy football, so I can't say.
Why you busy playing like real football or something dumb?
Gay.
Yeah, the real, No, I'm playing. I don't know. I don't play it. It'd be hard for me to speak on things that I haven't done.
Did you played with
Haven't been
JJ
around.
McCarthy?
No, I wasn't.
You weren't playing with JJ? He wasn't on the squad yet.
Nope.
Yeah, I guess because was he
Yeah,
a true
he's-
freshman then?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. Because normally, a junior
Yeah, in the league
football-
5 years.
Yeah.
Unless he was like redshirt or something.
Yeah, I'm interested to see how he does. Interested. He's one.
Where'd he
guy-
go? What team?
Minnesota.
Minnesota. Yeah.
And Cousins is down in Atlanta.
But Penix was drafted like 8th overall though. So
Right.
Penix is no spring chicken. He's like 26 or something.
Yeah.
So better play.
Do you have any fantasy football guys? And while you think about it, anyone who you think is like under the radar gonna come out have a nice year.
I'm gonna always say my teammates.
Yeah,
Homies.
I figured. Who
Homies
you
are
got?
homies.
I'm on Ross
who
St. Brown.
impressed you? Well, he's been
Yeah,
he's like a good
he's a
fantasy
top 10
football
pick,
guy.
easy.
But who other than
Good
If I
running
mention
back-
some of the
good
homies,
running
I gotta
backs in
mention
Detroit.
all the homies. You know,
Good running backs in Detroit.
all the running backs good in Detroit.
Mm-hmm.
So
Good running backs.
if I mention some of the homies, I gotta mention all of the homies. Or
Yeah.
the homies gonna be like,
Yeah,
and then I'm that guy.
Yeah, I know. We deal with that.
I'm
too
very
sometimes.
high on Detroit this year. You guys got a good team, bunch of dogs. You guys seem to play well together.
Dan Campbell's leadership.
It's
I
to
love
me
that.
it's like the perfect blend of old school mentality with like new school analytics. You know, even though it didn't work out, I was fucking around before with the kicking the field goals in the playoffs. But I like that. I like that he trusted his guys. I like that he didn't play to tie. He played to win. I like that. And I think over time that's going to bear itself out. I think Jared Goff is somehow still underrated.
I agree.
He's highly paid first overall, but he's like underrated in many ways.
He won me a fantasy football league 2 years ago.
Yeah. And
Lamar
I think
Jackson got hurt, picked
Yeah.
up Goff, took me through the playoffs.
and that defense flies around. I just, I need to see, the big white boy take another step and actually get to the quarterback this year. And
Talking about Hawkinson?
Hutchinson, right?
Hutchinson, right.
Yeah. Another Michigan guy, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then, some pressure on the other side. Pressure always makes the secondary better. So, I mean, you guys scored 40 freaking points a game last year, but you gave up 38. So, like, if your defense can be one score better and the offense is the same, it's going to be a very, very
Yeah, I'm
very
excited
good
for
year.
Lions this year.
Yeah.
I'm a Lions fan because of you, and I'm going to be, we're going to be
Appreciate you, brother.
supporting you all year, brother.
Tell you what, though. All of a sudden,
Slick and thick is we're Lions country out
the
here.
NFC Central has been a joke for a very long time. It's been Green
Let's
Bay
go,
and everybody else, but all of a sudden, NFC
Oh,
Central.
it's become super fun.
Now you got
Yeah.
Jordan Love looking real good. Look at what's going on in Chicago all of a sudden. I mean, Chicago. If Caleb Williams is even 1/10 of what everybody thinks he's going to be Mahomes.
Mm-hmm.
So if he's even 1/10 of, now you look at all of a sudden who they got over there. Rome Odunze fell to him.
Mm-hmm.
They got DJ Moore.
Yeah.
All of a sudden they got some
weapons.
They got some weapons.
Yeah.
NFC Central's going to be interesting, man.
Yeah. I'm excited for football season, man.
NFC North. Why I keep saying Central? North, right?
North, yeah.
Yeah. I'm
Lions, Minnesota.
I'm
Green
back in the
Bay.
day when there was just three conferences: East, Central, and West.
Yeah.
North. Yeah.
Yeah, Gerard's old. Forgive him.
NFC North's going to be very interesting. Very, very interesting. See who comes out of it.
Fuck yeah. Well, thanks, Donovan Peoples-Jones, my favorite football player.
Thank you. brother.
Yours too, Slick and Thick's favorite. Check him out. Watch him all year. He's gonna come back on after the season. He's heading into training camp soon. So yeah, man, we're gonna get. So make sure you do your thing so you can come back on here with a little ring you can show off. All right.
You know. Let's do
Let's
it.
go, brother. Let's go.
Tell the people where they can find you, man.
I'll be in Detroit playing for the Lions.
We'll put all your socials up in the description. Thank you guys so much. Appreciate it. Once again, check out telyrx.com. That's TELYRX.com. Use code S&T for 20% off.
I got a little gift for Donovan too. Give him some of this Awakened, some of the best natural pre-workout right there.
Pre-workout?
That's for you, brother. Yeah, you're gonna like that. That's from
Awakened.
Stampede Network. Yes, sir. A Spartan Bee Bread. I'm gonna hook you up with some of that too.
Looks like stoic.
Yeah, brother.
Okay.
Hell yeah. You gonna dig
Right.
that.
Let's do it. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, we good.